Welcome back to Team FastEddy and our Castle Creations Baja conversion video. We've pretty much gone through setup and installation of all the different items that are needed to get it going, and now it's time to go ahead and fire it up. First thing that you're going to want to do is get your transmitter that you're using. You're going to want to go ahead and turn it on. If you're setting it up with multi-channels, you're going to want to go ahead and make a new profile. There are so many different transmitters and receivers out there, radio systems and whatnot, that you're going to have to find out what works for yours. However, for the spectrum that we're using, there was actually very little setup. What we did was we just created a new profile and we named it and made sure that everything was set to the factory 0 or 100%, depending on what your radio is, but we absolutely took a blank channel and did nothing to our radio. So once that's done, you're going to want to go ahead and turn your radio on. You're going to make sure that one of your wires is plugged in. Then you're going to go ahead and plug in the second wire from the ESC to the battery. Now, if you've got your batteries wired up, it's going to make a spark, and it's going to almost sound like a cap gun. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can capture this, but we're going to go ahead and get this plugged in. They are a little bit tight to get in on this one. You're going to go ahead and plug that in. And your ESC is going to make a series of beeping noises. And there is no on-off switch or anything, so we're just going to go ahead and let it do its beeping thing. And theoretically, it should be all set up and ready to go. First thing we're going to do is make sure it steers properly and we have power. And the second thing we're going to do is to go ahead and pull on the trigger. Very small amount, just to make sure that it's going. And yes, it is. Now, one of the things that we had to do on ours is that when we started it up for the first time, the wheels were actually turning in reverse. So when we pulled on the throttle, we were going in reverse. Now there's two ways that you can deal with this. The best way to do it is to turn everything off and plug the Castle link into your receiver box, or actually I should say plug the Castle link into your lead that goes back to the ESC, and on your computer there's a setting that will reverse motor, and that's the proper way to do it. The other way to do it is you can reverse your positive and your negative leads on your ESC to the motor. So you do want to make sure that when you're pulling on the trigger that it actually is going forward. So that's really all there is. The Castle link will also provide you with a lot of different settings for drag brake. The other thing you're going to want to do is make sure it goes into reverse. And I've dialed my reverse way down on this, just playing around with it, and I haven't set it back yet. But that's pretty much it. We're all ready to put the body and whatnot back on and go outside and do a test run. However, the first thing I wanted to show you a couple little modifications that I did here. The first one is I added some additional straps to the battery. See if we can get dialed in here. I put some straps around the battery that went around the back brace and back up front and connected to the cross one that we had put on there from Castle earlier on, and basically that's just going to keep the batteries a lot tighter in there. Some of you with some observant eyes are going to notice that we removed our battery box. We'll see if I can get the camera over here for just a little bit of a better view so you can see what's going on there. And this is one of the things that we came up with as we were building this, because we are a manufacturer. Get the camera dialed in here. Is Team FastEddy will now have available here in just a week or two a battery box removal kit. And basically what it does is it's a holder for just the the steering servo, and that eliminates that huge battery box that's in here and gives you more space to adjust your batteries from front to back. We've gone ahead also and mounted in a receiver box, and this particular one is put out by Traxxas, and it's a waterproof unit. Right now we have it down on the chassis, but you can mount it up on the side if you want to get it out of the way. You can also put it on top of the servo and tape it on top of the servo if you choose to do that. This is a prototype brace, and we are actually adding some arms on here that the battery box will screw into. So that's a part that you can look forward to seeing in the near future. A couple of the other things that we've added to this particular build is the Team FastEddy bleeder caps, which you can see here. Just makes bleeding the shocks much easier. We have also added in the Team FastEddy front turnbuckles, because the softer aluminum turnbuckles like to bend, and over time we've learned this is a necessity for all of the Bajas that we run. If we go around to the front here, it's going to be hard to see, but we've installed in the front hubs, got the camera backed out too far, we have installed in the front hubs Team FastEddy uniballs is what we call them, and they replace the ball and the plastic piece with a singular ball, which helps out. When we move around to the back of the Baja, we also have our bleeder caps located on the rear shocks, as well as the Team FastEddy rear race series hardened turnbuckles. So those are some of the few modifications that we've done to this particular Baja, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. We're going to put our roll cage back on, and instead of using the standard roll cage, we're going to use the Team Chase roll cage on this particular build, and put our body back on. Get a shot of this. We're going to put our body back on, and we're going to go out and have some fun.
No, just start.
All right.
Space about 3 times this size.